Hey, what's up guys? What's going on? It's Adam here. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about where I'm at with this project, what I've been thinking about, considerations in terms of the roadmap that I'm on or the path that I'm on, and trying to validate this is worth the time that it is, worth the time that I'm putting into it, and ultimately try to figure out if there's value to customers. In this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about where I'm at with those things, what I've done so far. So far, I've reached out to a few known friends, a couple acquaintances that are in the technology area, and I've reached out to family members and a couple close friends. And so far, I've shared the idea with everyone, with about 5-6 people, not counting my wife, who's probably the first person that knows and or not gets the updates from me on this. So I've reached out to folks. I'm waiting to hear back from the folks in technology. We briefly chatted, but they haven't really responded to some of the questions I asked them. I asked a couple customers about, actually a longtime acquaintance / customer about a couple questions related to invoices, and then I shared this, and then I actually shared the app, the preview version, with a longtime customer and friend just a couple hours earlier. So I'm waiting to hear back from everyone. Also yesterday I had mentioned it to a couple people, and the overall reaction for my dad's, oh cool, let me check this out. First person to look at it. But if it could do this, it would be cool. And if it could do that, it would be cool. This could be cool. Dad, those are all eventually down the line. But right now we're just trying to, figure out if I can build a prototype that demonstrates the use case, voice to enter in invoices, and trying to, but my dad's excited about it. He's checking it out. I shared the public URL with him today, actually. So he's only had access to it on his own, on his phone, less than a day. But it's fun just hearing what he thinks and what his perceptions of the app and what it could be. And so that's cool. And then, from the other friends, cool, I'll take a look at it, but not really any tangible feedback, not any suggestions. And I'm thinking about that in a few different ways. Number one, people are busy with their own shit. You're another dude with a great app idea, right? Nothing personal to me, but I'm sure if you're in technology, especially the current phase of code assistance, AI-based code assistance, there's probably every cousin, third cousin, friend of a friend are shooting ideas your way. So I think there's a little bit of, probably a lot of noise in there. So it's getting a signal, getting attention, and then getting especially people in technologies, is challenging. That's the bottom line. I've only put this out there a couple days. Myself, I've never built a software product. I've sold carpets for the last 15 plus years. I'll say that, 15, 16 years. And I remember initially, the product we were selling, we were having to break into the market and there was only a few incumbents, but there wasn't an established market. It was just forming, these new importers bringing machine woven rugs, high quality, high density type of rugs. So it was a new concept back in 05, 04, 05, 06-ish time. I mean, it wasn't a new concept, but we were a new brand. Nobody knew who we were. There wasn't a lot of startup rug companies at that time. So it was definitely learning our pricing. We were figuring out pricing, figuring out the distribution, figuring out how to position ourselves. Thankfully, I wasn't figuring out all those. I was doing most of the selling, but also collecting feedback on pricing and saying, hey, competitors selling it for X, and at that X and Y. And at that time, I was able to get a sense of the premium, the market leader, and the startups. And we came where the startups were. We were able to provide what the market leader was providing, but at a fraction of the price, right? So we were selling physical products to carpet stores, to discount retailers, to furniture stores, etc. So, and there wasn't a lot of competition because it was relatively new in machine woven rugs. So at that point, though, the product was established, but the friction around new idea, new brand, new product, I felt that hardest because I was only 19 at that time, and then I was just starting to learn market dynamics in that sense of competing against someone for that shelf space, and explaining your value proposition clear, making it really clear in a short period of time. I remember that's my backstory. But where I'm at today with this. Similarly, the idea itself is novel. Yes, you're trying to make invoice organization easier. The app still needs several more weeks of developing, so it's fully functional. Right now, what do we got? We have the ability to scan. So you can scan here, you upload your invoice, OCR brings it in. Then you have your billing section. Let me see if I can make this mobile view this way. Is it mobile view? Oh, it is mobile view right now. Yeah. Am I doing it right? So you have your invoice section, so you can see your bills. You could see who they're from, the due date. If it's on the invoice, it pulls it in via OCR. You can make payments, partial payments. For example, on this invoice, we made a partial payment. I've worked
Ready to pay invoice for fruit supply Bardolane Estate. Please say the amount and payment method.
So I've made it so you can use voice to pay this, or you can type in, I paid $200 cash, or $200 cash, right? So it's going to
Parsed, $200 by cash.
$200 by cash, invoice reference. You can add any optional notes, or you can speak to it. So I could say, oh, let me go back. See, that's a feature I need to develop.
Ready to pay invoice for fruit supply Bardolane Estate. Please say the amount and payment method.
Paid $200 cash. Actually, no. I think it's giving me a little bit of issue is this mobile view on desktop. Let's move this here. The button's not working. Let's try exiting here, and then there we go. I have a broken button. You see? Need at least a few more weeks to work through these updates. You change one format. I changed actually the format of this a little bit, the layout. It was three steps to now all in one step. It looks a button for the audio speech recognition.
Parsed, $400 by cash.
Broke. So
process payment confirmed, $400 processed successfully.
Initially, I had made it. It was three steps. So it parses the payment. It parses whatever text I wrote there. It understands context because we're using OpenAI's LLM. So it's parsed it, and then we applied that. So remaining on that $76.50. Cool. So got that in. Also, the image that you upload, when you scan, you can see the invoice. So the original invoice is right here. This is just a dummy invoice. So that works. As you can see here, $876.50. It uploaded it from a picture, entered in the vendor, created the vendor card. So all those things were part of that process. So that's the bill section. And then the directories, once you've created them, you now have vendor, you have a directory of suppliers, and you can see all your invoices here, you can see your history here, etc. More work needs to be done in this to streamline this. For example, the image uploads here, I would for that image to just be in one place. So if there's an image exists for that, or the invoice image exists, it should just be on the left side, removing that duplication. I really am about minimalization or minimalism. Taking a lot of features and making them really easy to and intuitive to use. Taking a lot of notes from Johnny Ive and others on how to create simplicity within a complex system. Minimalism, not to just delete things and make things simple. It's about making complex, challenging, complex systems and complex interdependencies simple to use. So where we're at here. So yeah, man, that's what I've built so far. Thank you, Cursor. Thank you, Claude. But it's been a journey, and so I want to start to speed is really important in getting this idea out there. Right now, one person, one idea, and an army of developers with open with Claude. But the idea here is to get the idea out, to iterate, to develop simultaneously, starting to build a test group of customers. In the month of June, right now it's June 10th. By the end of this month, I want to have 5 users on using this application, which means I need probably at least a few more days of development, at least 20, 30 hours of development to get this in a better stage. I could totally be wrong. I could be totally underestimating this, but that's what I think just needs a little bit more. We've got a front end. We've got some tools here. We got OCR capability. We have the LLM capability for audio. It just needs to be refined a little bit. My point here is I've shared this with a few people. It's been flat on responses. There's one person that's, aside from my dad, one person that said, yeah, I'll check it out on Friday when I have some time from work, when it's a lighter day from work, basically. And that's to be expected, right? This is a new idea, new product, and people have a lot of shit going on. So to be able to look into a new idea, a new app, is really asking a lot from people. That's something to keep in mind. That's been the journey so far. What's important for me is to validate, does this take away pain from customers or from business owners? Does it make their life better? Does it take away pain? Can I explain this in a simple way? Will they get it? And this is larger problem. Over 30 million businesses struggle with cash flow. Many businesses every year, 80% of businesses go out of business because of cash flow mismanagement and cash flow problems, cash forecasting problems. So my mission is to empower businesses, empower businesses with a set of tools, a set of insights into their business that they've never had. And if they had, they can plan their business better. They can be a better employer, focus on their customers more, focus on their employees more, be more credible to the bank because now they're more in charge of their books. That's down the line. I'm really passionate about that problem because I've experienced this myself. I nearly lost my own business because of improper cash flow forecasting, improper systems in accounting. And I'm really passionate about this problem. If I'm not the one to solve it, whoever solves it, I will definitely support or solves for it. There's going to be an ecosystem of different companies, players, providers. That everyone that's out there right now is doing, there's some people doing great work, but I think there's a lot of opportunity. It's a rich marketplace. There's 30 million in deemed small business out there that we could just change the game for businesses if we can provide better insights, better forecasting, better planning around the business. But it's got to be human. It's got to be and easy to and like most business owners rather not spend time taking pieces of paper or taking emails or managing their subscriptions and paying, ACHing, wire transferring, cutting a check if some people do that, or paying their vendor by cash. That's a part of doing business, but having better insights into that, being able to understand, hey, there's a lot of unlocks there. I have a list of things in my mind. Living through this since I was a kid, I grew up in small business. So yeah, that's my story. That's the story of the day. That's my little diary entry here. I'm excited to be able to, what I did so far, share that with you guys. And then I updated the navigation. I also forgot to mention that. My ADD brain's all over the place here because I'm so excited. Simplify the UI to really focus on scanning a new bill and viewing your bills. It's about receiving invoices and paying bills. Right now, we're just focusing on paper invoice, soon to change. I created a search bar here, a little more minimal instead of taking up space here. I made this mobile first, so the buttons are here at the bottom. Let me know what you think. Open to comments, open to suggestions. Previously, they were on the left-hand side. I still like the left-hand side, but playing around with this, I do the scan button there. It feels a little bit, it's more intuitive in the middle, camera button. But I don't, though, you have to, on your mobile phone, you have to click twice. You have to click here and then say choose photo or take photo. But I'm thinking if there's a better way to do that, but that is what people are used to. You don't have to open this screen just from here, just go straight to that, trigger that pop-up rather than having to click twice. Because on the mobile, you have to click twice. Let me see if I can simulate that right now. I don't know. I wish I had more experience with this. I think it just opens the file. I'll figure out a way to simulate mobile better next time, guys. But thank you so much for following along. And I just want to document the journey. I'm really passionate about empowering businesses to run effectively, more efficiently. And I'm so excited as a product person to be able to use generative or AI to build these prototypes. The unlock is in working with people, with your customers, and building a team around this. My limitations are slowly approaching, but empowerment comes in the human approach. As much AI tools as there are, it's humans that are at the center of this, and it's humans that that make life interesting and make life great. Unpredictable is the unpredictability in humans is what's awesome. It's different personalities, different approaches towards things. There's a lot of different it's what makes things colorful in life and makes things exciting. Getting to meet different people from different experiences, and so if we can keep that at the center of what we do, but build with AI, I think we're on the right track. That's my thought of the day on AI and humans, because there's so much coming at us at the moment with AI technology, etc. Long-winded here. Thank you guys. Thank you, YouTube, for accepting this video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.